camera. I think I'm going to do a Blair Witch Project style review of cigar. I think it's number 7. So go to the humidor. Okay. Got that's them fixing my panel box. Grab cigars out of there. And let's see if we can find number 7. Alright, so we've got cigar number 7 here, sitting out on my porch. So let's take a look at this cigar. Nice looking cigar. It's got natural wrapper. It's got a few water blemishes on it. A little veiny. Not too bad. Looks Corona Gorda-ish in terms of size. And let's take a little sniff. Very nice pre-lit aroma here, and I'm already kind of leaning towards Cuban, just based on my observations, looking at it and smelling it. But let's torch it up and see what happens, huh? A little bitter, and just looking at the wrapper, looks like it's got a little age on it. It's not a very oily wrapper. It's got kind of that slightly dingy look. Now, for some reason, and I probably shouldn't do this because it's, you know, I don't know that it's going to be my final choice or whatever. I'm sort of getting a little bit of a Ramon Allones taste to it, but it's a strange Vitola. That part of it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Now, that is something that it very well could be. There's a Swiss regional release of these, the Eminencias, and it certainly could be one of those. And this is a case where the cigar does not taste, you know, just looking at the wrapper, I would say that it's maybe 5 years of age on it or so. Does not taste that it's that age. It tastes a little bit younger to me. I think I certainly am leaning towards Cuban on this cigar. There are some non-Cuban cigars that have a sort of similar taste, but this doesn't look to be constructed the way I would expect those to be. You know, some of Pete's Tatuajes and the Cabaguans. It's definitely not a Cabaguan. Doesn't really look like any Tatuaje. The wrapper's just not right. The construction's not right for what Pete does with those cigars. Nice smoke. Well, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to smoke it for a little while, and then turn the video cam back on and let you know where I'm at in a few minutes. Alright, we're back. Smoked a little bit of it down. Kind of having my doubts now about it being Ramon Allones. There's a particular flavor that I expect from those. Even the regional release should be kind of similar to that. Kind of tough. Not really getting that. Some of the other things that I'm thinking could be a punch Corona. Just getting kind of nice leathery flavors. It's a little bit on the bitter side, which kind of makes me wonder exactly how old this cigar is. I tend to kind of judge the age based on the way the wrapper looks, and also the taste of the cigar. Young tobacco, to me, tends to have a little bit of a bitter edge to it. Ah, we lost the ash. And I'm also kind of wondering, it seems like the size is maybe a little bit too short to be a Eminencia. I believe those are a little bit bigger than this. I mean, just eyeballing it, I'm guessing this thing was, you know, probably a 44, 46 ring gauge, maybe 5 inches, a little bit longer in length. And I believe the Eminencias are a little bit closer to 5.5. And honestly, at this point, there's no profile to me that's kind of screaming out exactly what it is. It's a decent tasting cigar. I think a few more years of age, this might be really enjoyable. It's got a little cardamom spice to it. Nice leathery taste. It leaves a kind of a nice aftertaste in your mouth. Almost creamy. But it definitely is a little bit on the bitter side. Say in terms of how old this cigar is, I'm going to give it at most 3 years. Just seems probably about right in terms of how old it is. In terms of a rating, I definitely think it has potential. I think right now it's probably about a 6. It's okay. It's bitter enough that probably should be accompanied by some liquor or something else just to kind of take the edge off. But it does have some good flavors in it. They're just a little bit marred by the bitterness. The draw is fine. Construction's good. Country of origin, I'm going to go with Cuba. There are just a number of things that, to me, scream out that this is a Cuban cigar. If it's not, then fantastic. I fall flat on my face. And I'm kind of on the fence about whether it's going to be a everyday or a premium. Really kind of depends on whether I decide it's one of the regional releases. Unfortunately, those tend to be expensive, mostly just because they're a small run, and they can get away with that. I mean, ultimately, what I decide in terms of whether it's a premium or not is going to depend on what I decide the cigar is. And I'm probably going to take it from there. I have the feeling that I'm going to be wrong on this one. Because I still, you know, I'm back to my initial impression. I want to call it a Ramon Allones Eminencia. I'm really not sure what it is. It's not giving me the characteristic Ramon Allones profile that I would expect. I mean, it also could very well be a you know, a young punch. Well, since I think I'm going to get it wrong anyway, I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to call it a Ramon Allones Eminencia. Again, it really doesn't exactly fit, but anything else that I said would be as much of a guess as that is anyway, so I might as well go with it. And with that in mind, it's going to be a premium, because those were not inexpensive cigars. And that's going to wrap up the video review. We'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll do the other ones like this too. And I gotta go. I got some yard work to do.